Now, the first term that all wide receivers need to know is called a trigger step. So a trigger step would be the foot that gets you into a break, like a curl, a comeback, or even sometimes like a dig. Let's use a curl, for example. Let's say I got a quarterback who's to the inside. Let's say I got to run a 12 back to 10-yard curl. Generally, what we'd want to do, especially if it's against zone coverage, press man, it's a little bit different. You want to break with your outside foot because that will set you up to take the least amount of steps possible. So your trigger step would be this outside foot. So the trigger step triggers the hip drop. That is when you want to try to take your chin and slam it down to your knee as quickly as possible. You are dropping to a 90-degree angle and you are trying to do that as violent as you can. So you're running up, drop into 90, and then you can flip your hips to get out of the break. But the trigger step is the start of that break where you have to drop your hips. Now, before we get into our second term, fellas, if you are a wide receiver watching this video or a quarterback and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches this offseason, we are going to be traveling out to 8 more cities across the entire country for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camp. So guys, go to that very first link in the description below of this video, and that's where you could sign up to train with myself and my staff. Like I said, we're going to be coming out next to Chicago, Illinois. That camp is completely sold out, but then we'll be heading out to Newark, New Jersey, Birmingham, Alabama, Houston, Texas, Boston, Massachusetts. Then we'll be coming out to Columbus, Ohio, Boise, Idaho, and then finishing off our tour in Los Angeles, California. So guys, you want some more information, want to sign up, go to that very first link in the description below. Again, all of our camps will sell out probably within the next week, just simply because we limit spots so each athlete can get individualized coaching and individualized reps. We don't want to have 300 people there because we won't be able to coach each athlete individually, because that's what training is about. So all of our camps sell out way ahead of time. So fellas, we'd love to have you there. Again, go to that very first link in the description below. Love to see you out there and love to work with you. Now, the second term, or I guess you could say phrase, that wide receivers need to learn is called getting skinny. So getting skinny will set you up to do point number 3 in this, or term number 3, and we'll get to that in a second. But getting skinny is, let's say, for example, I'm lined up right here. This red cone is like, let's say, where the line of scrimmage is, and let's say I have a DB who's inside shade press, and let's say I have to run a 10-yard out, right? I don't want to give him a move attacking his leverage and then run wide away from him when I get up into my route, because when I run away from him, that shortens the amount of space that the quarterback has to the sideline. What I want to do is I want to get skinny. I want to squeeze past him and run as close as I can to him. So I give him a move. I want to get right past his hip. So at the top of the break, I can maybe lean into him and cut. If I have to go the opposite way, like let's say I got to run a dig, I could swap by and throw under him. So you get skinny anytime that you are against a press coverage DB, no matter what leverage he has. Now, the next term you need to know as a wide receiver is called late hands. So this is going to be for an over-the-shoulder deep pass. Let's say I'm on the right side of the field. I got a receiver, or a DB, excuse me, who's on my inside hip, and I'm running downfield. Ball is thrown over the shoulder. I don't want to show my hands early, because when I raise and show my hands early like this, that lets the defender know exactly where he can punch that ball out, and he knows where the ball is going to land. We want to wait till almost the last possible second. Now, I don't mean catch the ball down here, because it's going to make us likely to drop the ball. You want to catch it chest level, but trust your eyes. You're running downfield. This also helps you catch up to a pass that might be overthrown, because the second you show your hands, you start slowing down. Keep your arms pumping, trust your eyes, and at the last second, catch it chest level. DB has less time to react, and when we catch it chest level, guess what I can do? I can put it away faster so he can't make his play on the way down. Now, the next phrase you need to know as a receiver is called restacking. So restacking is a situation where, let's use that same 10-yard out example we just talked about. Inside shade press. I don't want to get skinny just to have him on my hip. I want to get skinny in order to stack over the top of him, because you will get separation much easier if you can stack the defender. So a restack is where I give him this move, and now he is trailing behind me. So at the top of my 10-yard out, instead of just cutting and going, what I could do is I can maybe throw a rocker step, give him a fake to the inside, because now he's trailing me, eyes are on my hips, so I can maybe sell it with my hips and then go. So anytime you hear a receiver coach or receiver talk about stacking or restacking, that is what that means.